Hey y'all, I'm Carolina Tony. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today the road brings me to Camden, South Carolina. This is a very old historical town, and we are here at the old Quaker Cemetery, formerly known as Pine Hill, in 1750. And there's a lady that is buried here that is said to still haunt these grounds, and we are going to investigate her legend as well as a few others. But right after this station identification. There are many famous people here with a big history buried at the old Quaker Cemetery. Generals and multiple families that died all at once. Just all kinds of interesting stories, but we're just picking a few out today. Now here in the Quaker Cemetery, this is where Josephine Noel is buried. Her name before was Josephine Brown, and she was a famous Confederate spy born in New York City on November the 8th, 1838. She died here in Camden, December the 5th, 1915. Something that you used to see many years ago when someone passed away, it told everything you ever wanted to know about the deceased. For instance, to the memory of Peter Lawrence, and I cannot make that out, W-A-I, I'm not sure, formerly proprietor of Domingo, and subsequent to events of the French Revolution, a resident of the state whose society, whoever changes is viewed as a husband, a father, a friend. He was distinguished, and it goes on and tells all about him. It's been so many years, it's hard to tell. He died in 1824. Next to, I'm going to assume, his wife. And, Martha Ann Margaret Julie, J-U-M-E-L-L-E, Jubilee. At the onset of the war between the states, in order to join the Confederate Army, you had to be 18 years old. And the story goes that a lot of young boys would put a note in their shoe that would have 18 on it. So when they went to join the Army, they could say that they were over 18.
Such is the case with William Troughton, was 13 when he joined, youngest in Camden.
These are unmarked graves here in the old Quaker Cemetery in Camden, South Carolina. This is the final resting place where 19 Confederate soldiers died in the Camden Wayside Hospital, and they were cared for by the citizens of Camden. And this is where their body came to stay for all eternity. One of the things that makes this pretty sad is they're unknown. Their families had no idea what happened to them, other than they just wasn't coming home. The legend of Agnes of Glasgow goes back to the 1700s. Agnes of Glasgow was born in Glasgow, Scotland, and her lover was a British soldier, and he came to America to fight in the British Army. We do know that her gentleman's friend's name was Agnes McPherson from Scotland. What a Scottish name that is. Anyway, while searching for Agnes, and at the time Camden was a very rough place, not quite the beautiful city it is now. So lots of mosquitoes and all kinds of things that would make you sick. Alice got sick, of course, and passed away. And this is her grave. It says here that Agnes of Glasgow, 1760 to 1780. Here sleeps Agnes of Glasgow, who tradition says followed her lover of the British Army across the ocean and through the wilderness to Camden. She was taken by death before she found him and buried here at night by King Haglier and his men. And this is Alice's grave. Alice has been resting here for over 238 years. Now, it is said that there has been people that has come out late at night and seen a ghostly apparition of what would probably be Alice, still looking for her long lost lover. Now, I know there are going to be people that will bring up all types of historical facts and papers and so forth and say, oh, this is not true. But if you do, you miss the whole point. This is a local legend, and as with a lot of legends, as you've heard me say before, they're mixed with a little bit of truth and a lot of fiction. But nonetheless, it makes a good story. And I will close with one more legend, the legend of the Camden Oak. And I will read you something, but it is so beautifully written, I've got to share it with you. As a mere sapling, I witnessed the rebirth of Camden after the devastation of the American Revolution. The British have occupied our town as a supply post in June 1780. When they evacuated 11 months later, they left it little more than a heap of ruins. Our citizens, mainly patriots, took to rebuilding our town with spirit. Originally, native inhabitants, mostly recently, the Catawba tribe, lived in the area and along the Wateree River, west of where I stand. They traveled to the Catawba trading post from the coast to the mountains and northward. Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto and his men passed through here in 1540 searching for gold. Camden began as a royal township. Fredericksburg in 1733 with settlers scattered along the riverbanks. The seeds of expansion were planted when the colony of Quakers arrived in the 1750s, followed by Joseph Kershaw, who established a branch for a Charleston mercantile firm. He called the hamlet Pine Tree Hill, and by the late 1760s, newly named Camden was the trade center of the Carolina backcountry. It was situated in the field in front of me, and the field across the street. Wow, if this oak tree could talk, I bet the stories it could tell. Remembering Alice roaming around looking for her lover and all these other people that were right here in Camden on the new frontier, the British coming in and invading this town. The stories. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed our tour to Camden. If you will, be sure to tell your family and friends. Be sure to share this channel with somebody else. Thank you for watching, and until next time, y'all have a good day.